Well, hello everybody and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday, only here on Top Shelf Oldies. Want to welcome you to the May 20th, 2017 Vinyl Treasure Show. It's my all 50s and early 60s show. Not the last Saturday of the month. That'll be next Saturday. It'll be my all 60s show. But for tonight, we got 50s and early 60s. And some of you thought that was Sandy Nelson. Well, you are wrong. You are really wrong. We opened up with a cover tune originally recorded by Sandy Nelson on the Original Sound record label in August of 1959. That was a cover from 1 month later, September 1959, by arranger, composer, and record producer from Battle Creek, Michigan originally, whose career spanned 4 decades, not only in music, but also in TV and films. His name was Don Rauch. Don Rauch there. This one charted regionally, number 47 on WNOE out of New Orleans, Louisiana. That was Don Rauch's rendition of that cool tune, Teen Beat. Teen Beat, the name of the tune. That's on the Warner Brothers record label. Johnny G babbling on here for a Saturday evening. We'll do a lot of it this week. Not next week, though, but let's continue here. We open up the vocal portion with this group from Queens, New York. This record became a hit, not when it was first released in October of 58, but when it was played and promoted by Slim Rose, owner of Times Square Records. He was a catalyst in the revival of this type of music in the early 1960s, as this song charted regionally in 1961, number 84 on Cashbox, 41 on Billboard. And he was able to convince Sid Nathan, the owner of Deluxe Records, to re-release it. But he kind of shortened it in the 1961 release, but I'm playing the original version, which is a little bit longer, from October 1958. It features Larry Pendergrass on lead. Of course, I'm talking about the Chanters. The Chanters on Deluxe with their tune called No, No, No.
Ah. No, 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 don't kiss me anymore. No, 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 I told you once before. No, 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 don't kiss me anymore. No, means yes, yes, yes. I love you, and no one else will do. My heart sings, don't ever say we're through. Please tell me our love was meant to be. Please be mine. You know I love you with all my heart. Please don't say that we will ever part. Your kisses thrill me when you are in my arms. Kiss me, darling, I'm lost in your charms. No, 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 don't kiss me anymore.
We open up the vocal portion from October 1958, the Chanters, Sid Nathan's Deluxe record label out of Cincinnati, Ohio, but the group there out of Queens, New York. Larry Pendergrass on lead. Actually, it reads Bud Johnson and the Chanters, their tune called No, No, No. Now, Sid Nathan re-released it in '61, probably a little faster, but a shorter tune, because there's extra, like, is that the cowbell you hear in there? Extra cowbell in that 45. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45s. Let's stay in the year of 1958. We head to Detroit, Michigan, to Robert West's Kudo record label. Not much known about this group except that the song was released in November of 1958, and this really an odd sound to come out on Robert West's Kudo record label. It's a cool tune. November 58 for Billy Sharp and his Sharp Tones, and the name of the tune is called Hippity Hop.
Let me tell you about a brand new dance that you gotta really do. It ain't like a stroke, it ain't like a bop. It's a brand new dance called a hippity hop. You go hippity hop, hop hop. You go hippity hop. Don't stop. You go hippity hop, hop hop. Now you got to be a baby. Let's rock. Standing jumping like mad. Man, I really dig of this crazy band. I grab my baby, put a nickel in the slot. I really cut loose on the hippity hop. You go hippity hop, hop hop. You go hippity hop. Don't stop. You go hippity hop, hop hop. Now you got to be a baby. Let's rock.
Ooh, baby, move, do the hop. That's what I mean, the hop, I mean the hop. Move and turn, baby, the hippity hop. I mean the hippity hop.
Kids on the bandstand jumping like mad. Man, they really dig of this crazy band. I grab my baby, put a nickel in the slot. I really cut loose on the hippity hop. You go hippity hop, hop hop. You go hippity hop. Don't stop. You go hippity hop, hop hop. And now you got to be a baby. Let's rock.
Dance, baby, I mean the hippity hop, I mean the hippity hop. Spin that girl around, spin her around, do the hippity hop.
That group's called Billy Sharp and his Sharp Tones. That's on Robert West's Kudo record label out of Detroit, Michigan there. Hippity Hop is the name of the tune, November 1958. You hear the reference to Dick Clark's American Bandstand. A lot of the groups were hoping that maybe if Dick Clark heard that, he would play the record on his American Bandstand. That one, I'm pretty sure, unless it made a radar record, it's possible Johnny G doesn't know. To answer Warren, no, I did not bid on that 45 as I missed it. I was telling Charlene, I'm talking to a private message that Warren sent Johnny G that there was a 45 that went for some bucks on eBay, and I missed it because I do need that record. Yes, I do. Johnny G babbling on here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. We go to Miami, Florida for this label called Rockin Records. Was owned by Henry Stone and Andy Razaf, and it was the debut single for this group from Cincinnati, Ohio. They had a ton of releases that later on came out on Sid Nathan's deluxe record label, but prior to that they were signed to the Rockin label. This one features Otis Williams on lead, July 1953 here for the Charms on Rockin with their first record, a song called Heaven Only Knows.
over again. Heaven only knows how I love you. So be true to me. I've been true to you. I love no one but you. You told me this was the end. I want my arms about you. Let's start it over again. You've been unfair. You know it's true. So give my heart a break. I still love you.
Let's say hello to Andrew Turner and Donald McGee tuning in to the Vinyl Treasure Show this evening. Hope they dug that tune there by the Charms. Otis Williams on lead, July 1953. Heaven Only Knows, originally released on the Rockin label. That was Henry Stone's Rockin record label. But then Sid Nathan decided to sign them to his new Resurrected Deluxe label and kicked off the Deluxe label a few months later with this 45. And actually, Rockin looked just like the Deluxe label. And I don't know if Henry Stone had the Charms first because he was first aligned with Sid Nathan, then went on his own, or whatever happened there. But the Charms then had so many cool recordings on the Deluxe record label. John G. babbling on for a Saturday evening. Let's continue here. Here's the first flip side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. Got quite a few from last week. I'm flipping over for tonight's show. And you know I always have some great flips to feature from the previous show. Now, last week I played the second of 6 for the Robins on the RCA record label, a song called Oh Why. It featured Grady Chapman on lead. Well, this is the intended A-side of the 45, which would be covered a few months later by the Orchids on Sid Nathan's King record label. Let's go back to April 1953, the Robins on RCA with their tune called All Night Baby.
Yes, baby, I could love you all night long. Baby. Yes, baby, I could love you all night long. Baby. If you take me for your lover, I swear I'll do nothing wrong. never no more wrong.
Come on home, baby.
Those are the cool Robins there. The Robins on RCA Victor. RCA Victor, April 1953. All Night Baby is the name of the tune. Now, that's the Orchids on King. They covered that as they covered the flip side. Oh, why? They covered the exact same songs as the Robins. What the Robins did, they did the same thing on the King record label. I don't know why they did that. That's pretty odd when you copy the exact song, unless you were, those kind of cutout bins, those what do you call those discounted records that they re-sing, but the Orchids covering it. I don't know. Johnny G babbling on here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue. We go to this next group out of Harlem, New York. Their first two releases came out on the Central label, featured a female lead on their first two singles, Vicki Burgess. She was doing lead for this group, but she left the group to join the Joy Tones, but the group continued to record, and their next release was on Herman Siegel's Timely record label. Actually, they had two releases on the Timely label. This is their first from October 1954. Posted this one up on my Facebook wall. I'm talking about the Charmers. The Charmers on Timely with Eugene Sonny Cook on lead. Tune I really, really like. The song is called I Was Wrong.
If you will listen, then you will know. If I could tell you I love you so, I was
Scratchy 45s here for a Saturday evening. That one a little bit not so bad, but some of these Timelies, the Gay Tunes plays pretty awful. The red vinyl one for sure. But that's the Charmers with Eugene Sonny Cook on lead, October 1954, the first of two on the Timely record label. Their tune called I was wrong. Johnny G ain't wrong, not when it comes to original vinyl 45s. I ain't. As we continue here, we go to Chicago, Illinois for this next group as their releases came out on one label. They were with this label for their entire career, Les Caldwell and Paul King's Drexel label. They recorded 5 overall with the Drexel label, and they backed up one other artist on the label. Her name was Dorothy Logan, but here's their second release. It features Ray Pettis on lead, and he did lead on all their sides. It comes on nice red vinyl. Posted this one up on my Facebook wall. It's from January 55. They're called The Gems on Drexel. The song called Kitty from New York City.
Ba 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 ba. Do I know a chick as cool as she can be? Well, and I know a chick cool as she can be. She's the kind of a doll that'll make you scream, ooh-wee. Who's that babe you're talking about? Well, who's that babe you're talking about? Well, who's that babe you're talking about? Well, who's that babe you're talking about? That's Kitty from New York City. Do-ba-da, do-ba-da, jump, jump. 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 Do-ba-da, do-ba-da, do-ba-da. She'll drink your juice as long as you can buy. Oh, she'll drink your juice long as you can buy. But when you go, she'll leave you high and dry. She'll take a drink of scotch or rum and sherry flip, then reach and get your glass and take a little sip.
Not my glass, man.
No matter what you drink, she'll have the very same. And always call the waiter. She knows them all by name. Now when you think she's ready for a little fun and joy, she'll look at you real cool and whisper, silly boy. What? Who's that babe you're talking about? Well, who's that babe you're talking about? Who's that babe you're talking about? Well, who's that babe you're talking about? That's Kitty from New York City. Leave her alone, old man. That's my advice. Leave her alone, old man. That's my advice. But on second thought, that chick sure looks real nice. It's a doggone pity. I love pretty Kitty from New York City.
Yes, that's Kitty from New York City. Those are the Gems. Ray Pettis on lead for that one, January 1955. It's on the Drexel label out of Chicago, Illinois. Some cool 45s on Drexel. I think I have every release on Drexel, maybe missing one or two of the later ones. But that's a cool, definitely nice Chicago sound. Talking about alcohol. How many out there drink alcohol? I rarely do. I do like a 7 and 7 from time to time, but you can't do it all the time. As Johnny G babbles on here for a Saturday evening, let's continue here. We opened up last week's Vinyl Treasure Show with the B-side of this next 45 on the Marquees label, which because of litigation would then change their name to the Argo record after 2 releases. Argo record label. This one owned by Leonard Chess. This group was called the Daps. I featured the B-side of their lone release. It was called Down and Out. And let's give a spin to the A-side. We go back to February 1956. This group is called the Daps, D-A-P-S, the Daps on Marquees. The song is When You're Alone.
When you're alone
and now it's goodbye. When you're alone, do you feel my touch? When you're alone, do you love me as much? So sorry, dear. I know I'm to blame. Forgive me, please forgive me. Our love is still the same. Oh, please come home. Give me one more chance. The way we loved was a perfect romance. When you return, oh, how my heart will yearn to know it's you, my darling, for I have you.
February 1956, released there on the Marquees label. Those are the Daps. The Daps, that is the intended A side of the 45. Song is When You're Alone. When you're alone, you can tune in to the Vinyl Treasure Show here on Saturday evenings from 10 to midnight. Nice, cool night here in New York City. Was so hot this week in Newark. And with the graduations, Newark is a parking lot. It was horrible the entire week driving into Newark, New Jersey. And the people with the gridlock, they block all the intersections. It is horrible. That's what I hate about my job. The one thing I hate is the travel into Newark. Anyway, John G babbling on here. Let's go to this next 45. We stay in Chicago for another flip side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. We go to Leonard Allen's United label, featured the fourth and final release by a group called the Moroccos on United, called Sad, Sad Hours, featured Solly McElroy on lead. He also is doing lead on the flip side. It's with Lefty Bates and his orchestra. Here are the Moroccos from December 1956, and their tune called The Hex.
Ooh, baby, you got a hex on me. It must be there ain't no witchcraft, no somebody spell, ain't go nowhere. Might have known it that you had done it. Got to get the hex on me. What for did you do it? I think I know, 'cause you didn't love me. You didn't like it somehow. Might have known it that you had done it. Got to get the hex on me. Well, it seems like you wanna see me dead. Sprinkle me with dust all around my head. You put that love all in my shoes, and I can't leave that. A this hex on me. Well, if you leave me, baby, life won't be the same. But just change your mind and I'll be a new man. If you do, I'll be true. Got to get this hex on me. Got a hex on me. Got a hex on me. Yeah, got a hex on me. Got a hex on me. Oh, 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 oh. Got a hex on me. Got a hex on me. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, got a hex on me. Got a hex on me. Got a hex on me. Oh, oh, oh. Got a hex on me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh. Got a hex on me.
Those are the Moroccos. Moroccos there with Solly McElroy on lead, December 1956 on the United label. That's out of Chicago, Illinois. Their tune called The Hex. Cool sax break on there. Lucius Little Wash Washington was on saxophone on that one, Lefty Bates and the orchestra. John G here for a Saturday evening, spinning my original vinyl 45s. Let's continue here on the last 50s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. I played the first of two on Imperial Records by this quintet from Oklahoma. I played the up-tempo side, a song called The Shimmies and the Shakes. Let's give a spin to the ballad side. This one from July of 1956. The group is called The Dukes on Imperial, and their tune called Teardrop Eyes.
Teardrop eyes are crying for you. Teardrop eyes, so lonely and blue. You said you love me only, then you left me blue and lonely. Now I'm crying for you. Teardrop eyes, just cry lonely tears. Teardrop eyes, we'll weep through the years. Come back to me, darling. These teardrops just keep falling. Please dry these teardrops. Teardrop eyes, just cry lonely tears. Teardrop eyes, we'll weep through the years. Come back to me, darling. These teardrops just keep falling. Please dry these teardrop eyes.
They are called The Dukes. The Dukes, that's the first of two on the Imperial record banner. July 1956, The Dukes with their tune called Teardrop Eyes. Now, this was later covered on Dutone Records back in 1958 by a group called the Fascinators. They do a nice rendition of that tune, but that is the original. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45s. And to those of you that have or maybe do not subscribe to Sirius XM Radio, if you have it on your car, because I know a lot of people who do not pay for the subscription, you can get it because it's free till the 30th of the month. So I know a lot of people, they really can't afford it. It's not cheap. You got to pay for royalties, and what a pain in the neck it is. But at least you get I think you get better music on, whatever you really like, 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or soul. Now I guess for this promotion with the Beatles, they wanted to open it up, hopefully get some subscribers, but it's expensive if you have a limited budget, but at least it's free. So you should check it out if you can, at least the 50s on 5 or the 60s on 6. Johnny G here spinning 1950s and early 60s here for a Saturday evening, and it's free. It is free, yes it is, but you get to hear my babbling, yes you do. Anyway, this is a great two-sided 45, and last week I featured the Marquees. They are from Manhattan's Upper West Side. The side I played was called Bohemian Daddy, came out on Jerry Winston's Onyx record label, featured June Bateman on lead. I told you it was a great two-sided 45. She also co-wrote the B-side of the 45 with Sammy Lowe and the orchestra. This is June Bateman and the Marquees, November 1956 on Onyx. The song is Hope He's True.
Ooh, ling a ling a ling a ling ling ling, ling a ling a ling a ling a ling, ling a ling a ling a ling ling ling, ling a ling a ling a ling ling, whoa whoa whoa.
Maybe I found boy of my dream. Hope he is true. He's such a fine thing. Love him so. I don't know what to do. Madly in love. Hope he is true. Well, as he held me in his arms, I was captured by his charms. He held me so close, it was only for tomorrow. Maybe I found the boy of my dreams. Hope he is true. He's such a fine thing. Love him so, I don't know what to do. Madly in love. Hope he is true. Well, as he held me in his arms, I was captured by his charms. He held me so close, it was only for tomorrow. Love him so, I don't know what to do. Madly in love, hope he is
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Marquees. The flip side of Bohemian Daddy on Jerry Winston's Onyx label. November 1956, Hope He's True is the name of that one. I was looking for that record for a long, long time. Finally, I found a copy. I wish it was Stone Mint, but hey, beggars cannot be choosy. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening spinning original vinyl 45s. Those of you that watch Johnny G on the Ustream broadcaster, if you get those annoying ads, you need to download Pop-Up Blocker. Will block those ads out. Just talk to my administrative assistant, Charlene Whiteside. She will get you the program, especially those tuning in to next Saturday's show. You're going to want to get that program. I suggest it. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue. Let's stay in New York City for this great group out of Harlem, New York. I played the B-side of their second release on Paul Winley's Winley label. The song was called I'm Falling in Love. That was the B-side. Let's give a spin to the A-side of the 45, and it features a Lenny McKay on lead, although you still hear the falsetto of Adam Jackson, because he does come in on one of the verses here on this cool A-side. This one charted regionally, number 38 on WMGM out of New York City. We go back to October of 1957. You know I'm talking about the Jesters. It's on Paul Winley's Winley record label. This is the A-side, a song called Please Let Me Love You.
Please let me love you. I'll try to do my best. I am to blame for your unhappiness.
How can I love you? I love you so. My heart will take. It'll always be the same until you come back to me.
I know deep within our love will never end.
How can I love you? I love you so. My heart will take. It'll always be the same until you come back to me.
Please let me love you. I'll try to do my best.
Yeah, those are the Jesters, the cool Jesters from New York City. Paul Winley's Winley record label, October 1957. That is the A-side of the 45. Please Let Me Love You. Would hear that one quite a bit here on New York Oldie Radio. Unfortunately, it's no more. You got to go to the internet to hear cool tunes like this, or maybe some specialty shows. John G is not the only one that does it, but very few do what I do, play original vinyl 45. So let's continue here. Back to Detroit we go, and on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured the B-side of this 45 by the Frisandos. Came out on the Star X record label. I played the side called Your Last Goodbye. Really not a easy 45 to find. And the instrumentation group was known as Eddie Bartell and his Dukes of Rhythm, and they only get credit on the intended A-side of the 45. No mention of the vocal group, the Frisandos, but they are the singers on the A-side. It features James Holland on lead. This one from 1957. This is the A-side of the 45 on Star X, the Frisandos. The song is I Mean Really.
Oh yeah.
But this gal, she done lost her humor.
Yeah.
When I told her I won't treat.
Oh yeah.
When I said on earth that I miss her.
Yeah.
She's sweet as my oh my.
Oh yeah.
But she took me straight in the kiss her.
Yeah.
She done
Lost me.
brand new fell in love. Yeah, she done fell in love. Yeah. Now she's straight from the start. Really. Now there was this chick in Detroit town.
Yeah.
Was gentle as a sheep.
Oh yeah.
When I told her I couldn't stick around,
Yeah.
Rich never said a peep.
Oh yeah.
When I said that I had to make it,
Yeah.
well, turn to do my track.
Oh yeah.
Looking just like she could take it.
Yeah.
She done
Shot me in the back.
way down, yeah, she done fell in love. Yeah. Now she's straight from the start. Really. Now there was this chick in Detroit town.
Yeah.
Was gentle as a sheep.
Oh yeah.
When I told her I couldn't stick around,
Yeah.
Rich never said a peep.
Oh yeah.
When I said that I had to make it,
Yeah.
well, I turned to do my track.
Oh yeah.
But looking just like she could take it,
Yeah.
she done
Shot me in the back.
way down, yeah, she done fell in love. Whoa, yeah, now she's straight from the start. With me, really,
Goodbye.
I'm gone.
Rockin Tunes here for a Saturday evening. That one there on the Star X record label. The Frisandos is the name of the group. James Holland on lead there, 1957 release. The song is I Mean Really. Is the name of that tune. That's cool, rockin' tune. Yes, Warren, have to agree with you. We move on here on a Saturday evening, and great girl group sound up next. Both sides are fantastic in my opinion. Really like this 45. Not a very expensive. I think it goes for about $75 to $100 if you find a nice mint copy. We go back to Sid Nathan's Federal label, and I remember hearing the A-side. I think the A-side is a song called Johnny Johnny. Heard it on the Gus Gossard show, but the flip side's an excellent ballad too. We're going to give a listen to the ballad side. The group is called the Charmettes. It's not the same group that recorded on the Cap label. It's a totally different group. This is their only release. It's from December of '58. The Charmettes on Federal, and their song, it's called School Letter.
Oh, will he find someone new?
they even give out school letters anymore in high school? I think they give something else out. I mean, do they even give out school letters in high school anymore? I think it doesn't make sense. I don't know. But at one time they did. It was so sweet to, I guess, for the girl to receive a school letter. I think they give them something else now. That is for sure. But anyway, that's a cool tune. I love that tune by the Charmettes. December 1958 on the Federal record banner. School Letter is the name of the tune. John G here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue. We are in the year of 1958. We go to Brooklyn, New York for this next group. And you would think that this group would have more success than they really did, as they were signed to a major label, Capitol Records. You think if you sign with a big label, you're going to have a big hit, but was not the case with this group that had 4 releases in all on the Capitol label. Now, their debut single was a song called Chapel Bells. I'm featuring the B-side of that 45, written by the lead singer. His name is Tony Passalacqua, and believe it or not, this B-side charted regionally, was number 37 on KPHO out of Phoenix, Arizona. We go back to September of 1958. The Fascinators on Capitol with a B-side with a song called I Wonder Who. Yes, Warren, I have to agree with you. All their sides are pretty good. The Fascinators there, September 1958. That is a B-side. The B-side to Chapel Bells. Featured it on a yellow label. It's promotional debut record that Capitol put out there. Tony Passalacqua on lead for that one. He wrote the tune I Wonder Who is the name of that one. It was re-released in 1961. That is Chapel Bells, probably with the early, because of the early 60s revival with Slim Rose and his Times Square Records. He had a radio show that he would play these records on, and when he found store stock or bunches of store stocks of records that were out there, he would sell them in the store for $1 a piece or $3 a piece. You can go there to Times Square Records, and he would say, here, a whole bunch of these have come in. They're $3 a piece. You can pick them up at Times Square Records, and everybody would go to the store and buy the 45. Johnny G's playing 45s here and babbling on for a Saturday evening. We go to another flip side from last week, this time Danny Robinson's Fury record label. I played the side called Rockin' at Midnight, which was the intended B-side of the 45 and one of the theme songs for the late Ronnie I. He used to use it on his Just For You show. But let's flip it over because this is the intended A-side. Was surprised when I read the Matrix numbers that this is the A-side. It's the group is called Sherman and the Darts, and Sherman is really Sherman Nichols. It's from 1958. We go to Fury Records, Sherman and the Darts. The song is called Remember It's Only You and I.
Count every tree in the forest. Count every star in the sky. But remember, oh, yes, there's only you. Remember, yes, there's only you and I. There's a island far away. Oh, we will go there one day. Our love will grow and grow. So remember, oh please remember, there's only you and I.
Sounds of 1958 here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Sherman and the Darts is the name of the group. Sherman Nichols, that's the lead singer's name. Remember It's Only You and I is the name of the tune. Danny Robinson's Fury record label. That's a cool tune there. Great two-sided 45. Their other release is good too. On My Mind is on the Apt record label, just as the Darts. A great tune for you collectors out there. Go buy the 45. John G's here for a Saturday evening. Up next, a trio from New Britain, Connecticut. They are Earl, Edward, and Everett Mifflin, and they were called the Mifflin Triplets. I guess if you are a triplet, does that mean that you were all born, I think, at the same time, I take it? You don't have to be exact twins or triplets, or are triplets, do they actually look the same? As Johnny G draws a blank. But anyway, they're called the Mifflin Triplets, and I used Ferdy Gonzalez's disco file for the majority of the dates that I use here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. He's been around for a long time, has put out, I think, in all 6 volumes of the disco file, and he's actually selling his final volume, and it's only $10. For $10 you can get his final disc. It's now on CD. I preferred the books, but anyway, I did splurge for the $10. You get a lot of information, a lot of photos. It's some interesting stuff. Although his Excel sheets he protects, and I need to look up some of the lead singers, and I can't do it. And anyway, that's a bummer. But I got a bone to pick with him because he is wrong with the date on this 45 that I'm playing. He says that this record was released in December of 1965, and that is no way that this record is from December 65. This record is from 1958. Mark it down, Ferdy. Mark it in your book. Or whoever gave him the information, they are confusing this label, Impact Records, with the Impact label from Detroit, Michigan, who had the Shades of Blue, Oh How Happy. I'm sure you know that hit. That was Impact number 1007. This is Impact 1003. He said it's from December 65. Well, if it was that label, it probably would be, but it's not. Just want to set the record straight here. And anyway, that's what I say. This record is out of 1958. Actually, this group they have two releases. They had one on Ember that was released in 58, and they have this one on the Impact label. This one from from 1958, the Mifflin Triplets on Impact. Tell me if you think this is a 1965 sound or a 1958 sound. The song is called Rock a Baby Rock.
Just because you let me down, cause you want to run around, I will be a mixed-up clown, moping all around the town. Ain't I gonna cry, gonna wish you rock-a-bye. Though you're tired of my embrace, I will go from place to place with a look upon my face, like I'm lost in outer space. Ain't I gonna sigh, I'm gonna wish you rock-a-bye. Ooh, oh, oh, baby, rock. 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 Ain't I gonna sigh, gonna wish you rock-a-bye. Though your dancing is divine and your kisses taste like wine, I'll find others just as fine. I will poke around and find, ain't I gonna die, gonna wish you rock-a-bye. Ooh, oh, oh, baby, rock. 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 Ain't I gonna die, gonna wish you rock-a-bye. Baby,
Now, if that record is from 1965, I will give all my 45s to anybody. They can prove that that record is from 1965. Yes, Warren's 1958 for sure. The Mifflin Triplets there on the Impact record label. Rock a Baby Rock is the name of that one. And a lot of people use his disco file because Ed Bentsanker, who had that Connecticut Rocks book, put the information in there. It is wrong. And other people also on their YouTube websites. It is all wrong. Johnny G is right here for a Saturday evening. Let's continue here for this great girl group sound from the Bronx, New York. It's the debut single for this cool girl group. They're known as the Cliquettes. It's the first of 5 on the Dice record label, really owned by Zell Sanders, but on paper it was owned by her daughter, Johnny Louise Richardson. It features Barbara English on lead. It's their debut single from October 58. Let's give a listen to the Cliquettes on Dice with a song called But Not For Me.
For me.
Patches and all there. Love to hear those pops and clicks, don't you? That's Barbara English. She's on lead with the Clickettes. It's October 1958. That's their debut single on the Dice record label, But Not For Me is the name of the tune. I need 2 records on the Dice record label, and I'm sure you can figure out which ones that Johnny G is missing. Johnny G here for a Saturday evening, babbling on here, spinning original vinyl 45s. And last week I played the intended B-side of this 45 by this group. They're known as the Daylighters. It was their debut single. The B-side was called You're Breaking My Heart. Originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I was going to say Alabama Birmingham College. No, I have friends that work there. But Birmingham, Alabama. But they traveled to Chicago, Illinois to cut this 45 on Norvell Eatman's B & Baby label. Let's give a spin to the intended A-side. We go back to August of 1959, the Daylighters on B & Baby. And their song is entitled Madhouse Jump.
Threw a party at the Madhouse Inn. It was a big turnout, came all his friends. Everybody came with intentions to bop. The weak must sit and the strong must rock. They were rocking, they were rocking, they were bopping, they were bopping. Everybody was rocking and a bopping to the Madhouse Jump. The witch doctor came about 11 o'clock. The purple people leader was blowing his top. Then walked the creature from the Black Lagoon. The old wolf man started humming a tune. They were rocking, they were rocking, they were bopping, they were bopping. Everybody was rocking and a bopping to the Madhouse Jump. Frankenstein. The joint started jumping, they were having a time. Old Hunchback started ringing his bells. He looked at Frank and began to yell. They were rocking, they were bopping, they were bopping. Everybody was rocking and a bopping to the Madhouse Jump. Dr. Jekyll introduced Mr. Hyde. Then the whole joint started going wild. I chased Dracula all around the room. He reached in the corner and he grabbed a broom. They were rocking, they were rocking, they were bopping, they were bopping. Everybody was rocking and a bopping to the Madhouse Jump.
Yeah, you can mark that tune down for you're doing a Halloween special. You definitely can use that 45. They're called the Daylighters, August 1959, on the B & Baby label. B & Baby Records out of Chicago, Illinois. Madhouse Jump is the name of the tune. Johnny G spinning original vinyl. We continue here. Here's another artist from Detroit, Michigan. He signed with Sid Nathan's Federal record label as a teenager in 1957. His debut 45 was actually an answer song to the Bobettes' Mr. Lee. Was called I'm Jivin' with Mr. Lee, but he would go on to have a total of 7 releases on the Federal record label. This is his 6th of 7 from August of 59. His name is Kenny Martin. Warren, I think you may have requested this record of me at one time in the past. I'm not sure, but you'll know when you hear it. But it's a great ballad. Kenny Martin here, August 59 on Federal. The song is called Ask Me.
Have it soon.
Yes, Linda, that is a lady's choice. His name is Kenny Martin. Kenny Martin there, August 1959. That's the 6 of 7 releases on the Federal Record banner, a song called Ask Me. Now, the song was written by Joe Seneca. Do you know who Joe Seneca is? I know I saw him in the movie. You know, the new version of The Blob. I mean, it can't be a new version. It was done in the 80s, but he was like the mad doctor when they were dressed up in all those those space outfits when they were trying to get the blob. And plus, not only that, but he was in other movies and he wrote other songs. He was mainly an actor though, but he was also a singer and songwriter. He has 45s and he wrote some pretty big hits. He wrote "Talk to Me" for Little Willie John, and he wrote "Break It to Me Gently" for Brenda Lee, and he wrote that song for Kenny Martin from August of '59. Ask Me. Ask Johnny G if I have original vinyl 45s. You know what my answer is? It is going to be yes. As we stay in the year of 1959 for another B-side from last week. Actually, it's the intended A-side, so we'll call it a flip side. And the group, I'm guessing, is out of Philadelphia, and I know the label it's on the Norgold label, owned by Harold Norton and William Gorgolde, but the group is known as the Daytons, and I featured the B-side of the 45 was called King of Broken Hearts. Here is the A-side, kind of a novelty upbeat tune, and it's their only release from '59, the Daytons on Norgold, with a song called Friday Better Come.
I need some money.
Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's no joke on day, bro.
I need cash. I need loot.
Give me some money.
Electric coffee, turn on my power. Water coffee, turn on my shower. Everything I own, I got it hot.
Well, I might as well move into the pawn shop.
Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's no joke, I'm dead broke.
I need cash. I need dough.
Give me some money.
Tax collector, getting closer to get left to pay my closer. I don't wanna spend my life in jail.
I don't get that cash to pay my bill.
Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's no joke, I'm dead broke.
I need cash. I need cards.
Give me some money.
Got a butcher waiting for some money. Got a present waiting for my heart. Got to make a wedding, need some bread.
I don't get that cash, well, I'm better off dead.
Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's my payday. Friday better come, that's no joke, I'm dead broke.
I need some money.
Novelty tunes here for a Saturday evening. That's a great record to play on Friday when you're ready to bolt out of work, as I was this Friday for sure, getting out of Dodge. It was a terrible drive home on Friday evening. But that's a cool tune. They're called the Daytons. The Daytons from 1959 on the Norgold record label out of Philadelphia, PA. Friday Better Come. No, tomorrow's Sunday. Then we got Monday. Anyway, we're going to continue here as we move into the year 1960 now. And we continue with more B-sides. We go back to Brooklyn, New York for this artist by the name of Bertel Dashe. Now, his real name was Bertel Dash. And I featured the A-side of his first release, the first of two he did on United Artists Records, a song written for him by Carole King and Jerry Goffin, a song called You Gotta Have Chicks. They also wrote the B-side for him, and this one also arranged by Don Costa. This one from September 1960. Bertel Dashe's his name, United Artists Records. The song is entitled All the World. Is it Love? All the world loves a lover.
Whole wide world, whoa, the whole wide world, yeah, the whole wide world, whoa, the whole wide world, yeah. All the world loves a lover, all the world loves the one that's true. Girls all say that I'm a lover, and I want some loving from you. All the world loves a lover, that's why they're the chosen few. Just tell me you'll be my lover, and the whole world will love you too. Can't you see I must caress you? My arms long to hold you near. Can't you see I must possess you? Baby, have no fear. Why can't we treat one another the special way lovers always do? Kiss me once and you'll discover you can be a lover too. Can't you see I must caress you? My arms long to hold you near. Can't you see I must possess you? Baby, have no fear. Why can't we treat one another the special way lovers always do? Kiss me once and you discover you can be a lover too. The whole wide world, whoa, the whole wide world, yeah, the whole wide world, whoa, the whole wide world.
Yeah, liking that tune there in the top shelf. Holy shit, it definitely is a cool tune. Bertel Dashe is his name. His real name is Bertel Dash, but changed it to Dashe. September 1960 on the United Artists record label. That is a B-side to great two-sided 45. All the world loves a lover. Yes, they do. Johnny G is a lover of vinyl 45s every Saturday evening right here on Top Shelf Oldies from 10 to midnight. Let's continue here for this next singer. Along with his partner, our famous folk rock duo, recorded for the Columbia record label, had 15 top 20 national singles starting back in 1965. But earlier, like in 1958, late 1957, early 58, they recorded as Tom and Jerry. Of course, I'm talking about Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. They also each had very successful solo careers, both in the early 1960s all the way through to the 1980s. And here is an early solo 45 by Mr. Paul Simon, recording under his alias Jerry Landis. This one charted nationally, only made it up to 97 on the Billboard Hot 100, but was a big number two on WGH in Newport News, Virginia. It is a song that he both wrote and produced. We go back to November of 1962 for Jerry. No, I'm sorry, 60. Is it? No, 62. Yes, for Jerry Landis. Jerry Landis on Amy, and his cool tune, a song called "The Lone Teen Ranger."
I'll soar away.
There goes the Lone Teen Ranger. Oh, he rides around on a big white horse. He's as cool as he can be. And my baby fell in love with him when she saw him on TV. And since that day, I'm sorry to say, she hasn't had time for me. 'Cause he goes bang, bang. He's the Lone Teen Ranger.
I'll silver away.
There goes the Lone Teen Ranger. To save my soul, I can't get a date, and you know who's to blame. Since the Lone Teen Ranger came around, my girlfriend
the same. She even kissed the TV set. Oh, it's a crying shame, 'cause he goes bang, bang. He's the Lone Teen Ranger. Ah, pony! Ride, ride! Every night at 8 o'clock, she turns on the TV. The Lone Teen Ranger stole my girl. He left Tonto for me. Yeah, Bob. Well, you better watch out, 'cause I'm getting mad. And here's what I'm gonna do. Gonna wear a mask and ride a horse and carry a 6-gun too. And when my baby looks at me, she's gonna love me too, 'cause I'll go bang, bang. He's the Lone Teen Ranger. Bio Silver, there he goes. He's the Lone Teen Ranger. Who was that masked man?
You don't know? That's the Lone Teen Ranger.
Cool tunes here for a Saturday evening. That is Jerry Landis, a.k.a. Paul Simon. November 62 release on the Amy record label, The Lone Teen Ranger. Used to hear it a lot on oldies radio here in New York City. Don't know if they play that anymore. I'm sure you can hear it on Sirius XM, 50s on 5 or 60s on 6. Definitely can hear it there or right here on Top Shelf Oldies here. A lot of the DJs, they like that tune. John G here for a Saturday evening, spinning early 1960s now. We're in the 1960s. Got another B-side from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. I featured the A-side. It came out on the Apt label. The artist's name was Dave Johnson. The song was called Teenage Jamboree, was the up-tempo A-side. Let's give a listen to the B-side. It's a ballad. It's his only release, a song that he co-wrote. We go back to January of 1961. Dave Johnson on Apt. The song is entitled Angel of Mine.
As sweet as the honey that drips from the trees of face, like an angel, and she belongs to me. So full of love, this angel of mine. One life, one life, one love, one love from the one so divine. So young, so sweet, this angel of mine. Oh, I know that no one could ever create such a thing. Oh, 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 she
Yes, Warren, that is a good one there. You can probably get that one on the cheapy side. Look for it real quick before they find out about it. Dave Johnson's his name. January 1961 on the apt label. Angel of Mine is the name of the tune. That is apt number 25054. And I have a white promo with actually a DJ sticker on it. They numbered this record 11,946. That was the 11,000th record of wherever that record was in whatever radio library it turned out to be. And anyway, John G. Beard playing early 1960s. We are in the portion of the show here. And the first time I heard this next tune was on the Gus Gossard Show sometime in the early 1970s. I saw Gus Gossard's commercial on WOR-TV. He was the curly-headed kid in the second row. He had this black leather jacket and this afro, and he had a stack of 45s and a turntable in front of him and these cobwebs, and it said tune in to WPIX FM at I think it was 7 to 11 or 7 to midnight. He was on Saturday and Sunday, and I would tune in, and that's the first time I heard this next record, the song written by Tom Goodman, who is also the lead singer of the group, and they are called Little Tom and His Valentines, and it's the group's only release. Was reviewed in Billboard magazine in October of 1961. They rated this a 4-star record. They said, quote, a swingin' side that the kids can dance to. Tom and the group sell it with vigor, and the band belts out a Bristol stomp melody behind him. Watch this one. That's what Billboard rated this one as. And unfortunately, the public disagreed because this was not a hit, but it probably should have been. Let's go back to October of 61. Little Tom and His Valentines on Mr. Big Records. The song is entitled Schoolgirl. They're liking that one there in the top shelf oldies chat. And that's Little Tom and His Valentines. Tom Goodman is his name. He is the lead singer there. October 1961. It's on the Mr. Big record label. What a cool tune that is. Schoolgirl. We seem to have woken up Alex, our Thursday night DJ here on Top Shelf Oldies. Let's continue here for a Saturday evening. And played a tune last week by Dante and His Friends on the Imperial record banner. The song was called Something Happens. Now, Dante is really Donald Drowdy. And prior to those Imperial releases, he was the lead singer for Dante and the Evergreens. And here is the group's fourth and final release on the Madison label out of New York City, co-written by the lead singer, Donald Drowdy. This one from February of '61, Dante and the Evergreens on the Madison label. The song is called Da Do.
Tell me that you love me, baby, don't you know I love you so? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Tell me that you need me, baby, don't you know I need you so? When I'm near you, well, you set me all aglow. I really love you, baby, yeah, don't you know? I love you, darling, yeah, yeah, can't you see? I met her, baby, yeah, our love was meant to be. Whoa, 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 whoa. As I sit so near you, I can hardly think of things pertaining to school. Tell me, baby, that you love me too, as we both walk home from school. When I'm near you, will you set me all aglow? I really love you, baby, yeah, don't you know? I love you, darling, yeah, yeah, can't you see? I need you, baby, yeah, our love was meant to be.
Jaji losing his mind here for a Saturday evening, only because that record brings back horror memories for me, because I bought that from the Count, Bob Ellis. Oh my God. Dealing with that guy at the record shows, like pulling your hair out. Bought that years and years and years ago. It's not even a clean copy, but it was dealing with the Count is an experience for you collectors out there. But anyway, it's definitely a cool tune for Dante and the Evergreens, February 1961 release on the Madison label out of New York City. Da Do is the name of the tune. We continue here for a Saturday evening, 1960s original vinyl 45s. This is my final flip side for tonight from last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. All 13, I think I flipped over from last week. It played this 45 on the Pennant label out of Gardena, California. The group was called Dave and the Stereos. The song was called Roman Romeo. Great, great tune by that group. Now, Dave is really Dave Hairston, and he wrote the flip side of the 45. This is the B-side from June of '61, Dave and the Stereos on Pennant, a song entitled This Must Be Love.
This must be love. Baby, this must be love. Baby, this must be love.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That is Dave and the Stereos. The flip side of Roman Romeo. It's on the Pennant record label, June 61. This must be love. Dave is really Dave Hairston. He also wrote the tune. John G's here for a Saturday evening as we continue here. Don't know if I've been out to the West Coast yet. And I guess we can say playing that Robbins record way back at the beginning of the show, they would be considered a West Coast group. But this artist is a native originally of Cincinnati, Ohio. He began his career as the lead singer of the Victorials on the Imperial label with that 1956 release, I Get That Feeling. But at 26 years old, he moved out to Los Angeles, California. And in the fall of 1959, he signed with Alden Records. And he had other releases on labels like Kelly and Etzel. He had duets as Hal and Brenda and Hal and Bobby, and also other solo releases on the Delphi label, on the Wizard label, on the VJ label, on the Amazon label, and so many others. Now here is one he does on Gary Paxton's GSP label. And of course, I'm talking about Hal Davis, and he's backed up by a female group that is speculated to be Ricky Page and Darlene Love and the Blossoms, but that's only speculation. But let's give it a spin. I like this tune from December of '62, Hal Davis on GSP with a song called I Don't Know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I love you so. No, I can't say. Oh, I don't know. You've been lying, and you've been untrue to me. I don't know. I don't know. Those happy hours, those happy days we spent together were so gay. But you were playing, and used me for a fool. Why did you let me cry? Why did you ever say goodbye? I love you oh so much, my darling. I
As Mr. Hal Davis there from As Johnny G Loses His Place, December 1962 on Gary Paxton's GSP record label. I Don't Know is the name of the tune. Now, if you listen to the background music, not the girls in the background, but the music. It may sound very familiar to some of you collectors out there. Check your copy, Warren. Go get your copy of the Five Superiors on GSP and then play There's a Fool Born Every Day. That is the background track that is on that Hal Davis 45. I'm trying to remember which one came first. I think the Five Superiors, they came first. That record came first, and then this one followed. But if you have that record, There's a Fool Born Every Day, play it, and then play this Hal Davis 45. Johnny G babbling on here for a Saturday evening. Will not be babbling on that much next Saturday. You're going to have to tune in to find out. That is for sure. Up next, a duo from Brooklyn, New York, and now half of this duo went on to have a tremendous career. First recorded solo in 1963 on the Columbia label. Does anybody have a song called Clown Town on Columbia? But then in the mid-1960s, he started having hits like Cherry Cherry and Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon and Sweet Caroline on the Uni label. Those other two are on Bang. And Cracklin' Rosie and oh so many others. Now, this duo had two releases on Billy Muir's Dual label, and they were known as Neil and Jack. Of course, you know, Neil was really Neil Diamond, and Jack was his high school friend. His name was Jack Parker, and this is the first of two for Neil and Jack, really Neil Diamond and Jack Parker. Let's go back to March of 62. Neil and Jack on Dual with a song Neil Diamond wrote. The song is called What Will I Do?
Dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey doo wop. Dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey doo wop. If you decide to say goodbye, you're gonna make my poor heart cry. What can it be? But time will tell if you'll be true or if you're gonna leave me blue. So I'll just wait and see. If you never kiss me again, and you never hug me again, oh, what will I do? Oh my dear, I really try when you're out with another guy, but I can't help feeling sad. Sir, now I'm within part. Is that because you want a part, or why must you treat me bad? Why do you want to leave? You make my poor heart grieve, oh, what will I do? And if you do remain, you'll set my heart aflame, sure as the stars above. You are the one I love. Oh my dear, I really try when you're out with another guy, but I can't help feeling sad. Sir, I'm within mine. Is that because you want a part, or why must you treat me bad? Why do you want to leave? You make my poor heart grieve, oh, what will I do? Dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey doo wop. Dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey doo wop. Dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey doo wop. Dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy dooey dooey, dum-dummy.
Early Neil Diamond here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Actually, Neil and Jack. Neil Diamond and his high school buddy Jack Parker there, March 1962. What Will I Do is the name of the tune. That one there on the Dual label. Probably Billy Muir playing guitar on that one. Maybe he is, but I think also Neil Diamond also played guitar. Now, that's the harder of the two by Neil and Jack on the Dual record label. John G here as we wind down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Really enjoy listening to this next female singer, songwriter, and guitarist from Beaumont, Texas. Her biggest hit was in 1962 on the Jamie label. I'm sure you know the tune You'll Lose a Good Thing, number 8 on Billboard, number 4 on Cashbox. Now, my second favorite song by her is called You're Gonna Need Me. That was also on the Jamie record label, but this is my favorite song by this gal. It's her debut single. Her name is Barbara Lynn Ozen, and it's a song that she wrote on Huey Moe's Eric label out of Conroe, Texas. We go back to 1962 for the great Barbara Lynn. Barbara Lynn on Eric with her tune called Give Me a Break.
All I need is just a break. And I'm sure that's no mistake. Won't somebody please give me a break? Oh yeah, all I want in this wide world is to be somebody and not a lonely girl. Won't somebody please give me a break? Everybody told me that I had talent, and just wait for your chance will come. But all I ever did was waited. But those were the words from everyone, and now I know. Yes, I know my break is here, and I'll just wait and have no fear. Won't somebody please give me a break? Won't somebody please give me a break? I'm calling on you. Won't somebody please give me a break? I'm down on bended knee. Won't somebody please give me a break? Won't somebody please give me a break? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Won't somebody-
That is the debut single for Miss Barbara Lynn, 1962. Eric Records out of Conroe, Texas. Barbara Lynn, a song she wrote. Give Me a Break is the name of the tune. Give Johnny G a break here every Saturday, spinning my original vinyl 45s out of my collection. And we continue here. This next 45, we stay in Texas. This time we go to San Antonio, Texas. This group, very big in the state of Texas. Their debut single came out in 1960 on the Harlem label, not the New York City Harlem label, but the San Antonio Harlem label. But then they signed with Abe Epstein's Cobra label, and this is the second of three they released on the Cobra label, written by the lead singer Demas Garza is his name. He wrote the song. He is the lead singer of the Royal Jesters. This one from July of 1962. The Royal Jesters on Cobra with their song called Let's Kiss and Make Up.
So happy as could be. Then you left me for a fight and went away with him. Well, now let's kiss and let's make up and start all over and over again. I can't go on this way. I need you by my side. What else is there to say? We're hurting each other's pride. Well, now let's kiss and let's make up and start all over and over again. Well, let's kiss and make up. Come on, kiss and make up. Let's kiss and make up. Come on, kiss. And start all over and over be asking me, just tell him goodbye and come on back to me. Well, now let's kiss and let's make up and start all over, over and over again. Well, let's kiss and make up. Come on, kiss and make up. Let's kiss and make up. Come on, kiss and make up. Kiss and let's make up and start all over, over and over again, over again.
July 1962 there for the Royal Jesters. Dimas Garza on lead for that one. Let's Kiss and Make Up is the name of the tune on the Cobra record banner there. And they would have a bunch of other releases on different labels like Jocks and Hollywood and Jester and Clown. And their instrumental band backing them up on this one here is the Memphis Three. It was unfortunate that Dimas Garza, he passed away November 11th, 2008 of a heart attack. He was only 61 years old, but has some cool recordings, these Royal Jesters. Johnny G here as we gonna wind down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Couple more 45s to go, at least maybe 3 more 45s to go as we close down here. Have actually this is a B-side from a few weeks ago, more than a few weeks ago. This is a B-side. This group and label, they are out of Baltimore, Maryland, got lots of Facebook response when I posted this one a couple weeks ago on my Facebook wall. The group was known as the Veltones. I played the intended A-side of the 45. It was called I Want to Know. We're going to give a spin to the B-side before it goes back down in the No Humidity basement. It was released in August of 64, but it sounds earlier. They're called the Veltones. It's on the Wedge label, and the song is called My Dear.
Boom, boom, boom.
Promise to love and cherish you, yeah, for the rest of my life. Just say that your love will never roam, yeah, and that it's me that you love, yes, just me alone. Just say that you'll be my wife. Oh, and I promise to love and cherish you, yeah. Oh, for the rest of your life. Oh, your
Johnny G gets caught here on the mic. August 64 release there, although to me it sounds like it's a little bit earlier than that. It does. They're called the Veltones. That's the B-side of the 45 on the Wedge label out of Baltimore, Maryland. A song entitled My Dear. Well, that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to cool original vinyl 45s out of my collection. You want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Been recording this one on the Ustream Broadcaster. Those of you that want to tune into the Ustream Broadcaster live, get that ad block. It will block out all the ads. It won't interrupt the show. So it's free. You can contact Charlene Whiteside. She's on Facebook. Or you can come right into the Top Shelf Oldies chat room. She will let you know where to get that download to do that. It's very important for next week's show. It will be. So please make note of that. But we're going to, that's going to do it for tonight's show. I hope you dug on the tunes here. We're also recording for my website. Vinyltreasures.net is the website. I have all my archive shows there. You can stream them or you can download them to your computer if you like. And we're going to put this Ustream broadcast on my YouTube account. You can check them out there. Hopefully the copyright police won't penalize Johnny G for tonight's show. And we are closing tonight with another cover song, originally recorded, this song, by a group called the Sinceres on the Ritchie label in 1961. But this group is from Kew Gardens, Queens, mostly known for backing up singer Kathy Jean on her 1960s hit Please Love Me Forever that came out on the Valmore record label. And they would have releases on their own on the Valmore label, also on other labels like Cameo and Canadian American and Philips. And speaking of Philips, here is their second of two on that label. From November of 63, The Closer is by the Roommates with Steve Suskind on lead. It's on Philips. The Closer is by the Roommates. It's called Please Don't Cheat on Me. No, don't cheat on Johnny G for a Saturday evening. And I hope you dug all the tunes. I enjoy bringing them to you here every Saturday from 10 to midnight. And next Saturday will be my all 1960s show, and there will be less chatter and more music, so you want to tune in for that. And please tune in tomorrow evening for my buddy Dave the Rave. Dave the Rave and his Relics and Rarities show starts at 9 o'clock, 9 to midnight here on Top Shelf Oldies. You want to tune in to Dave the Rave. And that's going to do it, folks. Want everybody to have a safe and happy week, and hope I see you here next Saturday for my 1964 and later special edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
Well,